All right, welcome back to the Nightly Sports Call. Thanks for the tweets. Thanks for the calls. Mark DiStefano. Mark, you got to tell me how to pronounce your name. I always mispronounce it, I think. DiStefano is the quarterback pick it now moving forward. I'd imagine so. Defense played well. Would have been a great win. Only hope now is from Miami Miracle. This is coming from Mark. I don't see a miracle with Miami. I think that Pitt's going to get blown out in that game. They never play well against Miami, and you know, it's just been a frustrating season. And now they can't even, their bowl hopes are shot. They can't get to a bowl game. No postseason this year for the first time in 10 years for the Pitt football team. And right now, I mean, the perception of Pitt as a whole, as an athletic department, is at its lowest point probably in 25 years. All right, let's go out to the phone lines, and we're going to go out to Stush in Menneson. How you doing, Stush?
Good, Rich. How are you?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hey, I'm a casual fan like you.
Okay.
My team's out in the eastern part of the state. I'm a proud Owl. But what I wanted to know, they're not going to win this year too. What's the feeling among the Pitt faithful? I mean, what are the natives? Are they getting restless with the state?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Program? I mean, are they clamoring for? Are they bringing out the torches and pitchforks with Narduzzi because he wants that? I'm thinking might have been a great coordinator. I just don't know what his head coaching ability actually is.
Well, you know, Stutch, thanks for your call. I mean, you got to give them some time. Last year they had a great year, and I thought they would build upon that year and have a 7-8 win year again this year, and the next year start to progress. But they just took a major step back, and I don't see them being any better next year. Even with some of these recruits coming in, they're still young. They got a tough schedule at the beginning. You know, I think there's a lot of fans that are already starting the fire Narduzzi thing, but I'm not in that camp. He deserves a little more time. There's no question about it. I think he's a very good recruiter. I think he's a good coach. I'm not giving up on him yet. He's definitely a great defensive coordinator. So I think, yeah, there are a lot of Pitt frustrated fans, and I can tell you a lot of my friends, a lot of my good friends that had season tickets to the Pitt football team, season tickets to the basketball team, and I can name 10 of them that gave up both. So yes, it's definitely frustrating, and it's going to hurt these teams moving forward. It's just like the Pirates. You know, people are giving up their season tickets. They don't want. They're frustrated. They don't want to see this anymore. They don't want to see Pitt just lose games like this. It's a Power 5 team, especially in basketball with what happened the first 3 games of the season. You can't be excited at all. And you're going to see this attendance. I don't know how much you can drop from 2,600, but there definitely is not any excitement or any buzz at all around any of the Pitt football, any of the Pitt teams, Pitt football, Pitt basketball, and it's a shame because there was so much buzz last year with the Pitt football team and a few years ago with the basketball team, and it's just now they both kind of fell off the map when it comes to excitement or buzz outside of the Oakland campus. All right, let's go out to James in Saxonburg. How you doing, James?
How you doing, Rich? I just want to make a couple comments on what you just said. First off, with football, my biggest problem, I think, is they practice in the facility. It's in the south side heading towards Homestead. They play games. It's on the north side, 2 rivers away. Students can't walk to the game. You take Penn State. You take Michigan State. You take Ohio State. You take Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Student body can walk here. The alumni is going to drive wherever they're playing, but the student body can walk here. They don't have to take subways and everything else.
James, I'm going to cut you off here because you can't compare Pitt to Michigan State. You can't compare Pitt to Penn State. You can't compare Pitt to Notre Dame. They're in a different class. They got a lot of students, a lot more students in Pitt. Pitt's a commuter school. There's not a lot of buzz at the school for football anyways, even if they were winning 9 games. That's just not the type of school it is. People are more worried about engineering and med school and dental school than they are the football or the basketball team. So it's not in that class. And the fact that they practice on the south side has nothing to do with why people are not going to the games at Heinz Field. First of all, the product isn't good. That's why people aren't going to the games. Second of all, yeah, you can make a case for some students can't get there, but there's buses. There's no excuse. Day games are obviously not conducive for a student to go to, so they got to be good to get night games, and they're not getting any night games. So, you know, even when they were good in the 8-9 win season, you know, what, 10 years ago or even a little bit longer, when they still weren't filling the seats. They still weren't. You weren't getting a lot of students to go. So you can't really count on the student body because the student body is less than half the size of a Penn State. And it's just not fair to compare Pitt to Penn State. Pitt Pitt should just, their goal should be, let's sell 40,000 tickets every year. That should be their goal, and they should be happy with it. So if that means that they have to tarp sections of Heinz Field, then do it. I don't have a problem with the stadium being off campus. That's not a problem of mine. I think it's good. You know, I know a lot of recruits like it being off campus. It would be nice if it was on, but, you know, if you're playing in Heinz Field, that should be a good atmosphere. You should be able to get recruits. So I say tarp it, and your goal should be 40,000 every game. All right, we got to take a break. Back to wrap things up coming up next. Stay right there.